What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at the next Emblem Hero and their banner, and this time it is none other than Emblem Sigurd, Lord Sigurd, and he's back with a vengeance, especially after his kind of lackluster remix and refine for his legendary version. So he's back being a top tier Cavalier. So, I mean, we all knew Sigurd was going to be overpowered in some way because he is one of the best emblems in Engage. At least in my experience, he was just so useful for the Kanto, or I think it's called Cantor in that game, but for the mobility and just being able to kill Cavaliers and stuff, he was so useful. Definitely one of the best in my opinion in Engage, and no difference here. He's still going to be top tier for sure, and he is going to have so much influence. I feel like he's definitely one of the best Emblem heroes and one of the best units in the game. So yeah, he is a Lance Cavalier this time, which I'm glad about because he did come with Rider's Bane, I believe, in Engage. So he's not a Sword Cav this time. And he has an AoE special that has a wide range. That is a lot of range if you guys saw that. Or at least, a slightly bigger range with more consistency compared to Blazing Wind and the normal AoEs that we have. So look at that. That's a lot of space. That's like half the map. So that's going to really help him with his playstyle. So Holy War Spear is his weapon. This gives him Canto 3, -1 cooldown. At the start of turn, he grants Gallop to himself. So Gallop lives up to the name because it gives him the ability to move 2 extra spaces, not just 1, but 2. So this man can move 5 spaces as a cavalry unit, which is insane. And that is just massive. We already have a lot of good 4 movement cavaliers like Brave Alphonse, and his sister as well. But now we have a 5 movement cavalier that is not going to be able to be stopped by stall, I believe, because stall only accounts for 1 movement or 1 extra movement. This is 2 extra movements, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to bypass that, which is insane. So yeah, you already know with that, just with that first part, it's going to be crazy. So if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, he grants bonus to his stats equal to 5 plus the number of foes within 3 rows for a column center on unit, maximum 14. We've seen this a lot in the past year or so. Deals true damage, 20% of his defense, which is going to be pretty good because he does have a high defense stat. I think we saw his stat spread for a moment, I believe, right? Yeah. So 64 attack with his weapon equipped, 37 speed, which is not bad. He's not like super min-maxed when it comes to his speed, but he is pretty min-maxed on his res, so at least that's a weakness for him. But he does have a lot of, or he's going to be able to survive hits for sure. So res is 17, so his res is very min-maxed, and defense is 47, so that's a lot of true damage. But yeah, so he gets true damage, 20% of his defense, including when dealing damage with a special trigger before combat, and he also reduces the percentage, so 50% halving, the DR halving, and 7 HP healing. So pretty simple weapon for the most part, but then we go to his override special. So this is basically an AoE special with Gale Force and damage reduction all in one. So if unit special is ready, he has the AoE, so for combat, this unit initiates in foes in your area take damage equal to 1.5 times the unit's attack minus foes defense or res. So that's what we saw right there before this. And then when unit deals damage to 2 or more foes, so with an AoE you're going to be able to deal damage to 2 or more foes at the same time using a special, including target, including foes dealt 0 damage. He grants another action to unit after combat. So basically he has Gale Force, like I said, so it's not the most free Gale Force, I suppose, but for him it's pretty much free because even if he does 0 damage, he's still going to be able to get that AoE off. But he has to have 2 or more foes. So if he has 1 unit that's with no one around him or around that foe, then I guess he won't be able to trigger his Gale Force. So that's something to keep in mind, but still really good. And then if unit or foe special is ready, he gets 40% flat DR during combat on the foe's next attack, so that's also nice. So basically, like I said, AoE Gale Force with DR. I am kind of happy that the Gale Force is not as free because he has to have 2 or more foes, but it's really good when he just charges in there and just attacks a bunch of teammates that are next to each other for something like 8th Raids defense, or pretty much any mode where there's going to be allies next to each other. Obviously, that's going to be really good. So Override's amazing. Comes with attack, defense, excel. Legendary Sigurd would have loved to have this on the Hall of Forms because I don't think he had access to the skill. But yeah, we've seen that before. That's amazing for more flat damage reduction, more attack and defense, and plays into his movement. And then Momentum 4, this is going to be his PRFB. So if unit or foe initiates combat after moving to a different space, he inflicts attack defense -4 on the foe, gets a guaranteed follow-up attack, and deals damage during combat. So this is just damage. This is not true damage based on percentage. This is true/flat damage, similar to flat damage reduction. So he's going to be able to deal a ton of damage, hit like a truck, depending on the number of spaces from start position to end position of whoever initiated combat. So another clash-like effect times 4, maximum 20. So that's a lot. And for him, you know, he's going to be able to get that really easily because he can move freaking 5 spaces. So that's amazing damage output. And then if unit initiates combat after moving to a different space, so another clash effect triggers the following effects depending on unit's equipped special. If unit has an AoE special, so he has that with override, he grants special cooldown count -X to unit. And then if unit has a special that triggers when unit attacks, excluding AoEs, he grants special cooldown count -X to unit before unit's first attack during combat. And the X equals the number of spaces from start position to end position, so another clash-like effect, which is going to be greater than or equal to 3, X equals 2, otherwise X equals 1. So he can get either 2 or 1 special jump, which is really good. So that's just, I mean, it lives up to the name, momentum for sure. Fatal Smoke 4, which is nice to stop healing, but we have Breath of Life, which is, I mean, Fatal Smoke didn't age well, very well, you know, it didn't really age that well in my opinion. And it has its uses, but Breath of Life is just so common, and Breath of Life halves it anyway. But yeah, Fatal Smoke 4 can be useful. And then it's Emblem Effect, because we're not done yet. And when I was predicting Emblem Sigurd to happen, I was hoping that his Emblem Ring would have either Canto, you know, giving people Canto, or the extra movement. But they said, fuck it, let's put both of them on there. So yeah, so Canto and extra movement, that is some cheese, but hey, you know, that's how Sigurd is. And then on top of that, he has a little bit of an effect here, which gives extra damage on these specials, depending on the number of spaces from start to end position. So another clash effect. There's like 10 of them in his kit. So it's a tiny one because it's only maximum of 4 extra damage, but still, that is nice. So your damage on your special is going to be able to be boosted a little bit. And then enables Canto X. So X is depending on the range of the unit. So if you are a melee unit where your range equals 1, you get Canto 3, just like Sigurd does in his weapon. And if you're a ranged unit, your Canto is 2. So it is nerfed obviously as a ranged unit, but still having Canto 2 as a ranged unit is really, really good. So Canto control stocks are going up for sure, because this is already one of the best Emblem Ring effects. And I do like the Emblem Ring effects because all of them have their use, but this one's definitely up there. I think Celica's was the best for sure, but now this is definitely going to give Celica's Ring a run for its money. And then we're not done. At the start of turn, grants another extra movement to that unit that has the ring. So thankfully this does not apply to ranged cavalry units, so you can't just put this on, you know, Rearm Reinhardt for example, and get that extra movement. So that's nice. But yeah, extra movement is going to be amazing for everyone else, for other cavaliers, for other ranged units that aren't cavaliers. So that is really, really crazy. So yeah, explains Canto right there. So really amazing emblem effect with pretty much no downside. And as a you know, as a Marth fan and as an Emblem Marth user, I am a little bit salty that Emblem Marth's ring is the only one that actually has a downside to it. It's a small one, but you know, he can't, or not he can't, but he reduces special damage on brave hits, which is not that much. I think it reduces it by 8, but still, the fact that they gave Emblem Marth a downside is kind of annoying when everyone else's has pretty much all upside. But it's something small, but still just kind of a thing I wanted to say. But yeah, Sigurd's emblem effect is insane, and he just destroys foes with his AoE, and his damage output is going to be ridiculous. So yeah, Sigurd is back with a vengeance, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to terrorize all the game modes, Aether Raids. He's going to be an insane initiator, and just Gale Force units and AoE nuker. So, you know, we do have Breath of Life and stuff, but even with Breath of Life, you can still just get slapped up and just nuked because he just deals so much damage when he moves, especially. So here he is taking out Valentine Mur, which, you know, she isn't the newest unit ever. You know, she's still relatively new, but, you know, she's very bulky. She can be very bulky. So Sigurd taking her out relatively easy is pretty nice. And he has that Canto, obviously, so he can easily hit and run. So, yeah, Sigurd definitely lives up to his name and Engage. And I expected him, like I said. There was a chance it would be Emblem Lyn, but I'm glad it's Sigurd because, again, he is one of my... I used him a lot in my Engage playthrough. He was one of my most used emblems. And, you know, he is one of the first emblem heroes you get in Engage. So that is Lord Sigurd. Really amazing art. I like how it's pretty unique. I don't think I've seen this artist too much. But yeah, there is his emblem ring effect, which we already saw. I'm not going to be summoning on this banner because I just used a lot of my orbs on Tamara's banner and I got pretty lucky. So I guess I'll try and get Sigurd sometime later. It would be nice to get. Maybe I can freebie him, but I'm going to try and save best I can because Halloween Tamara returns, I think, next month on a rerun. But yeah, the rest of the units on the banner are going to be, what is that, Sather, Legendary Yuri, Legendary Hinoka, what's her name? Hather, yeah. Golvig, Legendary Guinevere, Mythic Lumera, my boy Emblem Marth. We have Fallen Veil, Atun Maikai, who's still one of the best units in the game, ridiculous. Emblem Celica, who's still one of the best nukes. And yeah, so the blue color, obviously started the show. You got Sigurd, Celica, and Lumera. I guess Lumera can be kind of a dud for some people, but she does have a scowl skill, and I think she's kind of an underrated mythic because of all the terrain we have, or the terrain that she can do, and we have fortifications now as a skill that can really utilize terrain more. So Lumera is kind of underrated in my opinion. So blue is pretty good, obviously. Red has my boy Emblem Marth. You know, he's the first Emblem hero, but he's still one of the best nukes in the game. And before Brave Felix, I still thought he was the best player phase sword of entry, but he's still good in both phases. He's a really good mixed phase sword of entry, and of course provides you with the -1 cooldown emblem effect. And then we have Yuri and Hinoka, their legendary versions. They are good for sure. Yuri is good if you invest into him. Same with Hinoka. I think Hinoka's a little bit better, but those two can kind of be a dud because they're a little bit older than Marth, obviously. So red is pretty decent, and then green you have Sather, or yeah, you have Sather and Atun Maikaya, who can provide the Far Trace Echo X skill, which is amazing, and also is an Atun hero, so you can duplicate a lot of stuff. And then also there's Hather, who is also a pretty good mythic. You know, she has the Gold Serpent, and the support she can do can hit pretty or decently hard. And then Sather, of course, you know, she is the first mythic of her book, but I don't use her that much personally, but she can be useful for the stopping of turns, or not stopping of movement that she can do. But you know, firm Kanto curb exists, so that kind of hurt her in the crossfire. And then Carlos has Fallen Veil, Legendary Guinevere, and Golvig. So I'd say Carlos is, it might be the worst color, honestly, because I mean Guinevere's not bad, but she's not like top tier or anything. Golvig is, she can be hit, you know, she can hit pretty decently hard. She has extra movement and stuff, you know, just like Siri, she can Gale Force, but she has her issues. And then Veil, I'd say, is the best out of the Carlos pool because she does provide that amazing support with the Scowl. So if I had to rank the colors, I'd say blue's the best, obviously. Then I'd say green because Atun Makaya is just so good. And then I'd say red, I suppose. Yeah, actually no, I think I don't know. Should I put red? Is red better than green? I feel like red and green are tied almost. So I put those at 2 or 3, and then Carlos last. So yeah, that is the banner, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. Good luck if you're summoning for Sigurd or whoever. Yeah, definitely really, really good emblem hero. Sigurd is going to be a meta changer for sure. So good luck if you're summoning. Like I said, leave a like if you enjoyed listening to me ramble as always. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.